Do you feel like your backhand volley is weak? You go out and you try to put it away, but you can't stick it. Oh, but you see the pros, it's so beautiful when they come out and they stick that backhand volley. And you just, think about it and say, well, they're pro. They're stronger than I am. They're faster than I am. You give yourself all these excuses of why you're not sticking your backhand. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 elements that if you start doing today, you will start sticking your one-handed backhand regardless of your size, strength, or level. So let's get started. Now, the very first thing I want you to understand for one-handed backhand is all a backhand is, whether it be or any stroke, is transferring power from the ground through to your shot. And this is why we're going to focus on a different area that no one ever focuses on first for your backhand volley. A normal backhand volley video would start off with talking about the swing, but I think that's not the most important part. The most important part is your legs, because that's the first way we can start transferring energy from the ground through to the ball. And so you're probably thinking like, how does this work? How am I going to transfer energy from the ground to the ball on a volley? Well, let me show you. You got to think about something. When the ball comes, what we want to really be doing is taking the energy and pushing it forward. And so just like I did this action here, push, what has to happen? If I wanted to, or if we take it back a step and not think about push, but if I really wanted to lunge, what do I have to do? I have to load my leg down, which now I'm pushing against the ground force, and then I have to direct that hand and then push. And the way I push is by, since my leg's loaded, I'm pushing through the ball. Now I want you to notice a couple interesting things. The moment I land, I don't go anywhere. So this is key, because I see this in so many lessons where coaches are telling their players to stomp. I understand what they're trying to do. They're actually trying to get their students to transfer the power from their legs. But just telling someone to stomp doesn't do that. And this has ruined so many backhand volleys, well, volleys in general. Because if I just stomp, the moment my leg hits the ground, there's no more weight transfer. Then it's just all arm. Compared to if I'm lunging like this, now there's weight transfer, okay? So the very first drill I want you to do is put your racket down. You don't need this. And for the backhand volley, I just want you to turn sideways. So I'm a right-handed player. This is gonna be have my arm in front. And all I'm gonna do is get my weight on my back leg here, and notice how my racket's up there, and I'm gonna push, just like that. I want you to do at least 5 of these. Feel the difference. Now, here's warning. This is what a lot of people tend to do with this. They go here, and they just fall. Don't be a faller. Don't be a faller. Be a lunger. So you're gonna lunge. And the difference is this: by lunging, I push down on my weight and I push it forward. And this is the first thing you gotta understand to have better backhand volleys. Volleys are hit with the legs, baby. The legs, not the hands so much. We'll get to the hands, okay? So make sure you do this drill first, because this cements everything. If you now understand how to start pushing, let's go a little deeper. Now, if I'm in a ready position, what do? This is why it's really important to understand which is my outside leg, meaning that facing you now, if I split and the ball comes to my backhand side, this is my outside leg on my backhand. So what's gonna happen now is I'm gonna split and I'm gonna get my weight on my back outside leg, my backhand outside leg, and then I'm gonna push, okay? So we're gonna put it all together. Second drill you need to do here is split, shift your weight down into the leg, and push, okay? Split, shift, push, okay? One more. Split, shift, push, okay? This is the second drill, which is important, because now I'm setting you up to go from the ready position to actually moving through the ball. We just, again, quick review, worked on transferring weight. Now we're working on going from the ready position to getting ready and pushing through, okay? So now you're ready for a racket. Grab your racket, and now let's talk about your racket in your hand. Now, the ideal grip, I think, is the continental grip, but there's some fudge room, okay? Meaning that this is the continental grip. An easy way of finding a continental grip is take kind of this V shape and take that V and put it right on the, counting from the top all the way to the right, put it on the first little bevel. So if I put that V right on that bevel there, my racket should be here. It should be like a hammer grip here, okay? You can also use a slight Eastern forehand grip. okay? What will happen when you generally shift to one side of the grip? One side is gonna be stronger than the other. What I recommend is making sure you release a continental to an Eastern backhand. Now, Eastern backhand is going the other way here for backhand grip. The more you go to Eastern backhand grip, a little bit stronger you're gonna be. But again, the way I'm gonna show you this doesn't depend on how strong you are, but the grip will feel really secure. And what I mean by the grip feeling secure is that you'll feel like your body's behind the grip. So now, once we have our grip, this is gonna be really important. It's gonna come down to making sure when we hold the racket that we actually don't wanna hold the racket directly in front of us. I think this is not a bad thing, but it's an inefficient thing, meaning that I wanna hold my racket here, okay? And notice how my hands are in front of me like I'm gonna be typing, and they're bent. Ooh, focus on that. They're bent here, not straight. Keep them bent right here. Now, make sure your racket's coming across your body just like this, okay? So now if we go back to those first couple steps we talked about, we're gonna split, load, okay, on the outside leg. But as we load, we're gonna turn my shoulders. Now, the next thing I want you to think about is think of your shoulders like a cannon. Just like a cannon, shooting this way. So you're my target here, this is the cannon. So what that means now is if I split and I load this leg, look at where the cannon's facing, okay? Now, also, here's another way of looking at it. If my racket's tilted just like this and I turn my shoulders, you see how that cannon almost aligns with my racket face going in the same direction, okay? I don't have to do anything. I just have to turn my shoulders. But if my racket's straight like this and I turn, you can see how it doesn't line up that well. And that's why having this at an angle now, when I just turn, I don't have to do anything. So the ball can come super quick. All I need to do is load and get on my, turn my shoulder. So that's the third drill we're gonna do, which is now load, outside leg, pointing the cannon, which also has the racket face looking in the direction, okay? So you're gonna go boom, outside leg, and all I want you to do is push now. We haven't even done the swing. You actually probably don't even need to do the swing. Here, here, push, okay? Here, here, push. This is the third drill, focusing on the cannon portion of the swing. Now, the final part of the swing is going to be the swing, ironically. So, remember how I said keep your hand in this L shape bent? Not back here, right here, nice and comfortable. The reason why is all we need to do is a tricep extension. And you're like, what? We're working out now. Tricep extension is that machine where you're working your tris here and you're pulling it forward here. We're gonna extend. So I want you to do this a couple times, just like this. You're probably like, how does this relate to a backhand volley? I'll show you 1 second. Now, if I have my racket here in this position and with the butt of the racket looking at the bottom of the net, so I'm here and I turn, so I'm lifting my racket up a little bit. So you can see this lift as I turn and the shoulder's facing here, and I do an extension with the tricep. Look what happens. That's your swing, okay? Bingo. So now let's put it all together and start hitting some balls. We're gonna go split, load that leg. We have the racket up looking the bottom of the string, the net, and then I'm gonna push tricep extension. Now the key sequence we wanna have is that we're going to go step, make contact, step, not step, contact, and step. The reason being is like we talked about before, if you're making contact as you're landing here, there's a big likelihood in the beginning that you're not gonna be transferring your weight. And that's not what we wanna have happen. We wanna start transferring our weight. Now we're gonna do some drills with the ball machine, and now we're gonna put it all together. I'm gonna show you first of all how we're gonna use our legs first. It's so important. Focus on the legs first because the legs provide the power. And secondly, I'm gonna explain exactly the timing of how we wanna do this tricep extension to hit through the ball. So I'm gonna let one ball come out just to see where it is. And once it comes out, you can also tell that, perfect, I have my back leg loaded. So I'm gonna have back leg, push, okay? And I'm not trying to really swing that much, push. Notice how as I load here, I'm going outside, push. So I'm not even doing a big swing. Here, push. Now start adding the tricep extension, push, okay? And I'm gonna freeze it, this one, push. So you can see how this is extended. So I'm really focusing here with the tricep extension, but the weight's gonna come from shifting my feet forward. I got a little early there. Boom, watch, boom. So the last thing we wanna really make sure is the contact point. You notice on one of them, I reached out too far in front. We want to make sure we're making contact in the center of the chest, right around this area, and then it extends out. We don't want to make contact way out here because we have no more extension. The extension's already done. We want that contact right here and here. If you prematurely extend your hand and you're reaching for the ball, you're not gonna have as much power. The stability is in the extension as you're pushing the weight forward, okay? So a couple more. Just really making sure that you get a knack of getting these things done separately before you try to put together. So again, outside leg, push. Outside leg, push. Outside leg, push. But what makes the backhand possible is having a way to get there. And the easy way to get there is improving your serve, because when you improve your serve, you can use a serve and volley strategy. I know you might be thinking serve and volley's dead, Kevin. No one serves and volleys, but they do, and it's really a great strategy. So the first thing you need to understand to hit a great serve is watching this video, because it's gonna show you exactly what you need to start focusing on to get more power on your serve, to give you the weak ball that allow you to come in and sneak in and hit that backhand volley.